Okay. Hey, Jess. Come here, babe.
Yes.
Where should I set the camera?
Yeah, fix this carpet. Where does it look the best on you?
I don't know. That's not long enough.
Right there is right on your face.
You think that's good? Stream it?
Yeah. There you go.
That's good?
Yeah.
I just wanted to link. Um, I have the captured card. I don't know how to link it to TikTok.
He's taken.
I'm not even streaming.
Oh.
What the hell?
You turned that shit up.
Weird, bro. He's taking, like, what? I'm not even streaming. I gotta figure out how to stream now, live.
January, Beyonce doing this whole Texas Carter thing for her Texas Carter album because she wants to somehow overtake country music because she got slighted a few years ago, I guess back in 2016. She was at the CMA Awards, Country Music Association. She didn't like how she was treated. And so this was all over the media. She said, look, she created this album in part because she didn't like how she was treated at the CMA. And she's like, no, the Black influence on country is actually really significant. And I want to show that. So this was part of what the NFL halftime football extravaganza from Beyonce, who had a cameo from her daughter, Blue Ivy. I guess they're trying to work up the family thing, country and family, right? Because Jay-Z, the dad, is kind of dealing with some stuff as a result of Diddy, etc. I won't get into the details, but you know what I'm talking about. Honestly, this looked like one of Diddy's white parties. I mean, everybody's dressed in white, head to toe in white, as she sang these country classics like Jolene. Blackbird's not a country song. That's actually a Beatles tune. Beautiful song. And a few more, Texas Hold'em, etc. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, what is this really about? I do not think the dancers were very diverse. I think they were predominantly Black, which is fine and great. It was just weird to have all the white costumes and then not really see any diversity in the crowd, but everybody's like dressed in white. And she's trying to make the point that she can conquer country music. Now, the album was pretty good, right? They won like 11 awards, etc. And I think she had Post Malone on there and a few others. Like, I mean, I'm not debating her skill. She's an excellent singer. She's, I guess, an okay dancer. I don't like some of the things that she's done to country. Like there's an introduction of certain lines in certain language that I don't feel really is representative of country music, because one of the things I like about country is that it's wholesome and clean. And you know what? I'm really happy to have my kids listen to it. I started getting into country music. My husband and I used to have a home up on Lake Winnipesaukee in New Hampshire early in our marriage. And so we leave New York City like on Friday night, late at night, and we drive all the way 6 hours. We didn't care. We just wanted to be able to wake up in the morning by the lake and just appreciate being out of the city. Right? That was always my goal, to be out of the city. So we would get up into the mountains in New Hampshire, and this was back. I'm curious actually to know what you guys think of it, because I was not impressed. You don't. With code word Trish, TRISH. Go to balanceinature.com.
Guys, it's mystery. If you're an HVAC installer, if you're an HVAC.
So this is what our society is teaching young kids, that stacks are bigger than their salvation, that guns are more powerful than our God, that pills it's a sin.
Now leave her. I guess Devin didn't bring the waters in? Come in here, I got fish.
Where is it? Oh my god. God. Can I please for answer?
Yeah, I'm fixing something up right now. How's it look?
Bro, where is the TV on top of the TV?
And Daddy's putting the sound system in here. See it?
Where?
Right there. See it on the ground? Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
Why does there have to be a sound system on the floor?
It's gonna go in here.
Why
For
does
the
it
room.
have to be in here?
for that big TV that we're gonna watch movies on.
Oh.
Right
Dad,
now,
do you know what I love on this desk?
don't touch.
Do you know what I love
Don't touch. What?
heck on this desk? This. I really want one of those for Christmas so I can learn how
This
to play.
is Devin's. I'm only using it for that.
Yeah, but I really wanted one before because I really wanted to learn how to do it. Dad, Daddy, Dad,
Hold on.
I really want to learn how to do this.
I don't know what's going on. It goes behind the couch. I just told her not to. How to go live on TikTok Studio with PlayStation 5.
Cancer is a long journey. It's a
So tap a few times so you get rid of sort of the on display buttons, because of course we don't use. Next you'll get taken, open up the App Store like so, and what we need to do is go and get something called the PS Remote Play app.
How to set up the cameras on TikTok Live Studio. How to set up cameras on TikTok Live Studio.
I blew up on TikTok using this influencer secret. This free app can make your video go viral. Just add videos to their templates.
Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to stream on TikTok and Twitch at the same time using TikTok Live Studio and OBS. I have a dual PC setup, but this should work on a single PC. This is the best I was able to find if you have camera issues on adding a camera on TikTok Live Studio and OBS at the same time, or if you have a capture card that can only capture one scene or whatever on one program. This will be a fix for you. Alright, to start out, what you're going to do is on OBS, on the scenes, you're going to add a new scene. Name it TikTok or whatever you'd like to name it. I have one made already, so you can see what I'm doing. So on TikTok Live Studio, you're going to add a source. You can add a camera or capture card. They both will capture the virtual camera. So if you do camera, you can see the OBS virtual camera. But I'm going to do capture card. So I'm going to add a source, capture card, OBS virtual camera. And then right here, this will actually capture your microphone. So if you have duplicate audio, this may be the problem because it's capturing my microphone. And then if you go to your audio settings later, I'll show that in a minute. So I'm going to add source. So it's blank right now. Now next to virtual camera, you'll see a settings button. Hit the settings button. By default, it should be internal. But what we're going to do is we're going to switch it to scene. That way it's going to capture one of these scenes over here. And then you're going to select your new scene you made. So the new one I made was TikTok tutorial. select that one, and then hit OK. And then start virtual camera. Now I'm going to adjust how I want it to look on TikTok. So I'm going to go full screen, and then move it around until it's center. On TikTok Live Studio, it will tell you with the red lines right there. See how it's 4 red lines? There you go. Now we're going to add a game capture. If you're on a single PC, you could add existing game capture, whatever. Since I have a capture card, I'm going to add a video capture device, and I'm going to use capture and only capture one. Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to stream on TikTok and Twitch at the same time using TikTok Live Studio and OBS. I have a dual PC setup, but this should work on a single PC. This is the best way I was able to find if you are having camera issues on adding a camera on TikTok Live Studio and OBS at the same time, or if you have a capture card that can only capture one scene or whatever on one program. This will be a fix for you. All right, to start out, what you're going to do is on OBS, on the scenes, you're going to add a new scene. Name it TikTok or whatever you'd like to name it. I have one made already, so you can see what I'm doing. So on TikTok Live Studio, you're going to add a source. You can add a camera or capture card. They both will capture the virtual camera. So if you do camera, you can see the OBS virtual camera. But I'm going to do a capture card. So I'm going to add a source, capture card, OBS virtual camera. And then right here, this will actually capture your microphone. So if you have duplicate audio, this may be the problem because it's capturing my microphone. And then if you go to your audio settings later, I'll show that in a minute. So I'm going to add source. So it's blank right now. Now next to virtual camera, you'll see a settings button. Hit the settings button. By default, it should be internal, but what we're going to do is we're going to switch it to scene. That way it's going to capture one of these scenes over here. And then you're going to select your new scene you made. So the new one I made was TikTok tutorial. Select that one, and then hit OK. And then start virtual camera. Now I'm going to adjust how I want it to look on TikTok. So I'm going to go full screen, and then move it around until it's center. On TikTok Live Studio, it will tell you with the red lines right there. See how it's 4 red lines? There you go. Now we're going to add the game capture. If you're on a single PC, you could add existing game capture, whatever. Since I have a capture card, I'm going to add a video capture device. And I'm going to use my game PC, which I already have on another scene on OBS. And there you go. You can see the game, and it's full screen. Now you can adjust it to how you want TikTok to see it on OBS. So you'll do all your adjustments on OBS now, since we set the size on TikTok. So we can add a camera too. So I'm going to add a video capture device, add existing camera. This is how you can use your camera for both because you're using it all on OBS. Camera. I'm going to adjust the size of this on OBS. And then game capture. We'll turn off the camera. Just pretend the camera's there. And then on OBS, you can see how it's centered with the pixel.
Mm. Let's switch something around. Mm.
Dad, is this the fridge?
Yeah. The right one. Yeah.
Dad, put the chicken in there.
How to set up dual layout with a monster capture card. How to get dual layout on TikTok Live.
Hello and welcome to today's training, how to use the TikTok dual camera feature. Slides. Now, if you've been paying attention to it is using it in many, then select a dual camera layout. So when you you want to select the dual camera icon. You can see by that image, I'm pointing to where that icon is. Remember, this is once you've actually selected to go live. And all of this will be done prior to you going live. So you want to select a dual camera feature. That's the first step that you want to take. The second thing that you want to do is you want to then select a dual camera layout. So
How to set up a dual layout camera on a capture card.
Here's my complete guide to setting up Live Studio in 2024. This will let you stream from your PC to TikTok. We'll cover requirements, setup, alerts, and more. And starting with requirements, here's a screenshot from the Live Studio Discord where they state that you need 3K for game creators and 10K if you're not a gamer. I'll put so I'll choose quality priority, I'll press OK, and if you don't have these settings which are on screen now under video quality, click on customize. And as long as you've got about 15 meg or more upload speed, then I suggest these settings. If your internet is a little slower, maybe try the 720p preset. Once you're happy with your settings, click next. And we are now offered the option between landscape and portrait mode, but also a third option if you have an NVIDIA graphics card, which is compatibility mode. TikTok has stated that compatibility mode is coming to more GPUs and more countries. So if you can't pick compatibility mode, don't worry, just pick landscape or portrait and you can still follow through. Now, we're going to get back to themes later, so I'm just going to choose default. I'm going to scroll down and click finish. And if you're offered some pop-ups, you can just close. This is the phone grip that doesn't suck. No other phone grip can do this, this, and this out of them. Before we look at anything else, if you do want to switch between compatibility mode, landscape, and portrait, it's in the top left. You can just choose between the three. I highly recommend you leave it on compatibility mode. This lets the viewers choose which view they want to see. Now, in theory, you can see TikTok set up the stream for us, so we could just hit go live in the bottom right corner. However, we are missing some important settings along with some useful features, and it's also really good if you just learn how to set this up yourself. So in fact, what I'm going to recommend is we just right click each of these scenes and choose delete, and we're going to set this all up ourselves from scratch so we know what we're doing. In the bottom left corner, I'm going to click add scene, and I'm going to scroll down and choose blank and press add. And on the left, I'm going to right click blank one and rename it. I'll call mine main scene. You can name yours whatever you want and press enter to rename it. And then on the left where it says landscape scenes, I'm going to click edit, which is going to give us a larger canvas to work on. So let's start by setting up our screen, and we'll start obviously by adding our display. This is the simplest method of showing what you're doing on your PC. Of course, this is going to show everything on our screen, so be careful what you show while you're live. So let's click on add source underneath landscape scenes, and I'll click display capture, and I'll make sure sync to portrait scene is checked, and we'll press add. Now just find the correct display, make sure you are capturing the cursor and press add source. You'll now see on both our landscape and vertical canvas that the display capture has been added. Before we do anything else, on the left, you might want to right-click display capture, choose rename, and give it a better name. For example, if you've got multiple monitors, then name it monitor 3, or for example, give it the brand name of your monitor. So I'll just do that twice. I'll just say monitor 3 on both of these. And on the vertical canvas, you may wish to resize it. So on the left, I'm going to click on it on the portrait scenes, and you can see it's now outlined in red, and I can drag these squares to resize it. And then I can just click on anywhere to guide it precisely, and you can see this red line now appears, so I know it's perfectly centered. I'm also going to leave some top space for my camera in the vertical mode. And finally, for our display capture on the left, I'm going to hover over it and press this lock icon, so now we can't click on it and accidentally move it around. So now let's add our camera in.
You're going to bed, bro. What are you going to say?
What you saw earlier where I added your camera in was actually lower quality camera settings. At this stage, if you're looking to use your phone as a camera, then look at the link in the description, follow that through, then come back to this video. Anyway, let's get our camera added. Like I said, I'm going to add my lower quality second camera, so add source camera. Once again, sync to portrait scene. Press add and then find the correct camera from the list. Now you can see under resolution it says 640 by 480. That means it's in 480p. So now let's add our camera in, but with the correct settings. What you saw earlier where I added your camera in was actually lower quality camera settings. At this stage, if you're looking to use your phone as a camera, then look at the link in the description, follow that through, then come back to this video. Anyway, let's get our camera added. Like I said, I'm going to add my lower quality second camera, so add source camera. Once again, sync to portrait scene. Press add and then find the correct camera from the list. Now you can see under resolution it says 640 by 480. That means it's in 480p. Now, most cameras are better than that, including mine. So this one can go up to 1920 by 1080, which means 1080p. So you've probably got either a 1080p, or if you've really splashed out, you might have a 4K one. So pick the highest resolution. And likewise, make sure you pick the maximum FPS, which is usually 30 or 60. And we'll look more in depth at camera settings in a second, but for now this is fine. So I'm going to click on add source. And before I do anything else on the left, I'm going to right click, rename it to the name of your camera. So I'll just call mine camera 2, and we're going to do it twice because it's been added in 2 locations. And on both my landscape and portrait scene, it's not in the correct place. So on the left, I'm going to click on camera 2, and I'm going to drag it down to center it. I'm actually also going to shrink it a little bit as well. And again, you can see we've got these nice red